After 10 minutes of human war footage, the predators knew they weren't apex anymore. The galaxy had always been a theater of hierarchy. Predators ruled, prey scattered, and the strongest species carved empires from the weak. For millennia, the Viwerloc were uncontested in their claim as the apex. Tall, armored in natural chitin, and bred for the hunt, they dominated half a quadrant by tooth and claw long before they had ships to enforce their dominion. But today, in the grand convocation hall of the Xith Alliance, something shifted. The chamber was circular, rising in tiers of stone and steel. Around its circumference, delegates of countless species sat, whispering in their own tongues, all eyes fixed on the vast holodisplay that hovered in the air. The Viwerloc delegation sat front and center, their talons clicking impatiently against the marble table. They had demanded this demonstration. The humans were new. A deathworld species, yes, but still crawling into interstellar society. To the predators of the galaxy, humans were prey at best, curiosities at worst. And yet, rumors spread like plasma fire, rumors that humans fought as no species had ever fought. The Viwerloc leader, General Krassith, leaned forward, mandibles flexing. "Show us," he growled, his voice amplified by translation nodes. 10 minutes of this, war footage. Let us see if these mammals truly deserve the fear you whisper about. The holodisplay flickered. The footage began. Midnight to 2 o'clock. The first scene opened with a battlefield under grey skies. Smoke roiled across shattered terrain, and metallic carcasses of war machines jutted from craters. Human soldiers, small compared to the towering predators watching, moved in squads across the wasteland. They were fragile-looking things, flesh and bone without claws or armor. And yet, their movements were precise, coordinated, purposeful. Gunfire crackled. Explosions thundered. The humans didn't scatter like prey. They advanced. Each soldier covered another, moving in patterns so seamless it looked choreographed. Krassith tilted his head, antennae twitching. Efficient, he admitted, but nothing extraordinary. Then the humans reached the first obstacle, a mechanized walker, towering twice their size, weapons bristling. Any prey species would have fled. The humans didn't. They split instantly, some drawing fire while others crawled through mud, dragging explosives with them. Within seconds, the walker detonated in a bloom of fire. The predators in the chamber hissed and muttered. 2 to 5 o'clock. The footage shifted. Urban combat. Streets choked with rubble, civilians screaming, predators, alien mercenaries, firing from fortified positions. The humans moved like water. One squad drew attention with a direct assault, firing relentlessly. Another slipped through broken alleys, scaling walls with ropes, leaping across collapsed floors. They struck from above, from behind, from impossible angles. A predator delegate snarled, "They fight like ambush beasts." But it wasn't just ambush. It was something else, adaptation. When one soldier fell, another instantly seized their weapon, their role, their position. No command was given, no hesitation flickered. The pack simply reformed, stronger, tighter, angrier. Krassith's claws tightened against the table. 5 to 7 o'clock. The footage jumped again. This time, open desert. A human armored column rolled across dunes, under fire from aircraft. Missiles streaked down, annihilating the lead tank. For a heartbeat, the column stalled. Predators watching leaned forward, waiting for retreat. But the humans didn't retreat. The commander's voice barked through comms, translated into dozens of tongues in the chamber. Forward. Always forward. And forward they went, burning, smoking, broken, but still driving straight into the storm. Infantry clung to the tank's sides, firing upwards. When another tank exploded, soldiers leapt clear, regrouped, and kept advancing on foot. A ripple of unease coursed through the chamber. 7 to 9 o'clock. Now came something worse. A jungle. Darkness thick with rain. The humans were not the hunted, they were the hunters. Silent. Invisible. Predators themselves. They laid traps of wire and explosives, funneled enemy patrols into kill zones, struck and vanished before counterattack could land. A Vylock observer hissed low. They stalk. Every delegate felt it. The humans were not prey at all. They were predators who had learned to fight in packs, to kill with machines, to make every environment, from ash deserts to frozen tundra, a hunting ground. And they did not stop when wounded. They dragged themselves forward. They fought bleeding, burning, limping. They fought until their hearts stopped beating. 9 to 10 o'clock. The final minute. A human city under siege. Buildings crumbling, skies aflame. Civilians armed with little more than crude rifles stood beside soldiers in powered armor. Children carried ammunition. The old tended the wounded under fire. It wasn't just soldiers. It was all of them. The footage showed humans charging not because they were ordered, but because they refused to yield. One fell, another picked up their weapon. One screamed in rage, and a dozen more answered with a roar that shook the ground. The last image froze on a single human, blooded and battered, standing atop rubble with a torn flag in one hand, firing into the smoke with the other. Alone, and yet unyielding. The holo went dark. For a long, suffocating silence, no one spoke. The chamber full of predators, species who had for millennia ruled through fear and strength, sat frozen. General Krassith finally rasped, mandibles trembling. They are fragile. Weak of flesh. Short-lived. His voice faltered. But they fight as if death is nothing. Another predator delegate whispered, no. Not nothing. They fight as if death is fuel. The realization sank in like venom. Humans didn't just kill. They refused to stop. They turned every wound, every loss, every failure into another reason to push forward. No predator in the galaxy fought like that. Predators killed for food, for dominance, for instinct. Humans killed because they chose to live, and they chose it with a fury that could not be reasoned with. The Vylock had always believed themselves the apex. But apex predators did not fight wars like this. Apex predators hunted until they were sated. Humans never stopped. One of the youngest predator delegates, her voice barely above a whisper, said what all of them now knew. They are not apex because they stand at the top. They are apex because they refuse to be anywhere else. Krassith looked again at the frozen image of that human with the torn flag. For the first time in his long, bloody life, the predator felt something alien to his kind. Fear. Not the fear of prey before the hunter. The fear of a hunter realizing it was no longer the deadliest thing in the dark. And across the chamber, as silence deepened, the predators of the galaxy knew the truth. After only 10 minutes of war footage, they weren't apex anymore.